Welcome, everyone. I would actually like to start by asking you a favor. Can you please all take 2 fingers to your wrist to feel your pulse, like that? Yeah, there. The reason you feel your pulse right now is because of your heart that pumps blood through your body. And that's pretty crucial because it supplies all your organs with oxygen and nutrients. Throughout your lifespan, your heart will beat about 2 billion times, and it does that at a resting rate of 60 beats per minute. And that's exactly what you're feeling right now at your wrist. But why does your heart beat? How does this actually work? The heart is a pretty complicated organ. It contains muscle cells that generate the force to pump blood. But if these muscle cells would just beat to their own rhythm, the heart would just wobble around real slow. The reason we have an organized heartbeat is thanks to the pacemaker cells of the heart that initiate and coordinate the heartbeat as shown in this animation. And it is these pacemaker cells that initiate each of your 2 billion heartbeats. Unfortunately, these pacemaker cells can get damaged due to diseases or aging, resulting in a too slow heartbeat to the extent that patients just lose consciousness. The current standard treatment for those patients is the implantation of an electronic pacemaker device that is made of a battery pack and 2 leads that are placed into the heart that now take over the activation of the heartbeat. Currently, about 21,000 electronic pacemakers are implanted per year in Canada alone. We're looking at all over North America, but 250,000 devices are implanted annually. And currently, 3 million people in North America are living with an electronic pacemaker. And for those patients, the pacemaker is great because it saves their lives. But it is an electric device, and these patients actually have to undergo surgeries to replace the batteries every 5 to 10 years. This becomes even more complicated if you think about pediatric patients. Not only do they need the recurrent battery replacements, but the device does also not adjust to the growth of their heart, requiring even more surgeries. And this is where I feel we can do better, and where my research comes in. My vision is to replace the damaged pacemaker cells with new pacemaker cells, and to establish what we call a biological pacemaker, without batteries, without wires. But now you may ask, but where will she take those new pacemaker cells from? And that's where I get to introduce the work we do in the lab. We're working with pluripotent stem cells, and these are unique because they can turn into any cell type of the body. It's a little bit like magic. You can culture them in the petri dish and turn them, for example, into liver cells, blood cells, or heart cells. So we should also be able to turn them into pacemaker cells. And that's exactly what we do. What you see in this video are human pacemaker cells made in the petri dish in my lab. It takes us about 3 weeks to turn the stem cells into these pacemaker cells. But it's not as easy as it sounds. Me and my colleagues spent about 5 years trying to figure out how to turn the stem cells into pacemaker cells. We're currently using preclinical models to test if these pacemaker cells can actually function as a biological pacemaker. And it could still be 10 years or more before we'll be actually able to transplant the first biological pacemaker into a human heart. As many of you know, the pace of research is rather slow. But now the real work begins. And what keeps me going is my motivation, my curiosity, and most of all the motivation to improve the treatment for the millions of people living with heart diseases in Canada and worldwide. Thank you.